A few years ago, when I arrived in Malaysia to take up a new job as a chef, on my very first working day, I was approached by a colleague of mine who told me that I have an admirer already. That was very surprising to me. As a matter of fact, she told me that I had 2 admirers, and yeah, so this is what we are going to talk about in this video: dating Malaysian women. And you might be wondering, nobody really talks about Malaysian women. There's a country in Southeast Asia, everybody talks about the Philippines, Thailand and Indonesia, but Malaysian women don't seem to be on anybody's radar. And maybe there is a reason for that, I don't know. But in this video I will give you some context about Malaysia. I of course will let you know how Malaysian girls are and where to find them. And then we will conclude this video. So just to give you some context, I lived in Malaysia for about 3.5 years. I worked in 2 different locations, but most of my time, about 3 years, I spent in Borneo. Malaysia is divided. There is a peninsular Malaysia and there is the other part located on the northern side of Borneo. So much for the geography here. Yes, during that time I flirted with Malaysian girls. I had one-night stands and I also had one girlfriend. But this girlfriend was from Borneo, from Sabah. Sabah is a state in eastern Malaysia. But it was true for me also that the dating experience was much less than in the Philippines, for example, or in Indonesia. I released my dating Indonesian woman video already, and I told you there that the dating in Indonesia was really a great experience because you can date a lot. But I already can confirm that it is a little bit different in Malaysia. First of all, I want to clarify also here that you cannot really talk about the Malaysian woman, because Malaysia is, as some of you might know, a multicultural place. The main 3 races in Malaysia are the Malay race, the Chinese and the Indian people from Indian heritage. And of course you have many more minorities in Malaysia, but these are the 3 main, let's say, races. And this is what they say in Malaysia. They refer to that as race. The Malay race is about 70%. The Chinese race is about 23%, and the Indians, they constitute about 6%. Yeah, so this is the contribution of percentage in Malaysia. This is when you look at overall Malaysia. Then I told you we have the peninsular Malaysia and you have eastern Malaysia. In eastern Malaysia, it is a little bit a different story. I will get into this in a moment. I never dated Indian Malay whatsoever. I only had experience with Malay women, Chinese Malay women, and the other races which are actually located in East Malaysia. The clocks in East Malaysia are ticking completely, no, not completely, but they're ticking differently than Peninsular. Peninsular Malaysia is the place where Kuala Lumpur is located. You know, this is where everything is happening. It's a vibrant city, it's modern, there's a great infrastructure, it's a modern place, it's very developed. East Malaysia, like places like Sabah, in comparison is very rural. Historically, actually, or politically, it doesn't even make sense that East Malaysia and Peninsular Malaysia constitute one country because of the different cultural backgrounds, the history and everything. East Malaysia is way more, the people there also is way more close to Indonesian tribes and the Philippine tribes, and they share way more common things together than, so long story short, the people in East Malaysia actually have nothing to do with the people in the Peninsular Malaysia. Yeah? And that also leads to, and this is why the mentality of the people in East Malaysia is completely different. And for example, you have many different tribes in East Malaysia. You have the Kadazan, you have the Dusun, you have the Murut, you have the Bajau. There are so many different tribes. And my girlfriend from East Malaysia at the time, she was a half Dusun, and her mother was a Dusun from the tribe of the Dusun, and her father was actually an immigrant from Timor-Leste. Well, that was also a very interesting mix. You might be wondering why I use the word races here so much, but in Malaysia, now I remember when I worked there, it is very common to just describe these people. For example, when I wanted to hire new people for my kitchen, and I was working for a large hotel resort, beautiful property, and so when I wanted to hire people, I had to fill out a human resources form, I had to do interviews, I had to interview the candidates, and then I had to give my assessment, right? And when I had to give my assessment, or the other way around, actually, the human resources department provided me with some paperwork already. So they gave me information like name, is this person married, birthday, and the race. There is a section in the form which actually say race. Yeah, I know in Western countries it's not very common to talk about race or to actually make a big fuss out of it. But in Eastern Malaysia, you have the opportunity, or you must tick your race. So which kind of tribe? They want to know which tribe you are coming from. Yeah, Kadazan or Dusun or Murut or Bajau, or you are a white guy or Indian or Chinese or Malay. So that's the thing. I just want to explain it to you because it's a little bit a different scenario in Malaysia, Although Malaysia has some similarities to Indonesia, that also is reflected in the dating culture a little bit. Obviously, yeah, they share the same language or very similar language, and similar cultural and historical roots. When it comes to dating Chinese Malay girls, then for sure it is the same dynamics like dating Chinese Indonesian girls. I was talking about this in my previous video, why I love dating Indonesian women. The Chinese Malay, they are Chinese and they are aware of their heritage and their culture, and long story short, they want to stick among themselves. So Chinese girls will over 90% marry Chinese boys. Yeah. Age gap, I just want to mention this really quick. In the part of Malaysia I dated, age gap was not an issue. My girlfriend at the time, there was an age gap of 22 years. So you see, that's actually a very large age gap, but it was no problem, not for me anyway, but for this girl it was no issue at all. Now, let's talk about the characteristics of Malaysian girls. Again, now you know already that what is a Malaysian girl? A Malaysian girl could be a Chinese Malay, a Malay girl, or it could be an Indian, a girl with Indian heritage. And by the way, the Malay girls with the Malay race, they are very, very similar to the Indonesian people, okay? I'm sorry if this is so confusing here for you, okay? But I need to clarify this here for you. And then in East Malaysia you have the other kind of tribes, you know, which are very close to the Philippines and other Indonesian islands. But how are the Borneo girls, for example? The sort of girls my girlfriend was coming from. These girls, as I mentioned, are very similar to Filipino girls or Indonesian girls. They're very curious, they are open, they're open-minded. They're cute girls, they are pretty, they are beautiful, they are joyful, they are funny, they like to laugh, you know. They are very sensitive women and caring. They are easygoing. They also can be naughty at times if you get to know them a little bit more, you know, and you have established already trust, or you are already in a relationship with them. You will see they can be very naughty, you know. They are welcoming people, and very important, they are very simple girls, okay? This is really a good thing. You also have to look where they are coming from. Borneo is a completely different universe actually compared to the peninsular Malaysia already. And when you compare Borneo to Europe, then you understand what I'm talking about. Simple, for example, means my girlfriend was a simple girl. That means you don't need to impress them with money. You don't need to impress them with a big fat car. You don't need to impress them with chic clothes or jewelry. You don't need to waste or spend money on these kind of things. But what these girls want is that you spend time with them, you know, spending time together, being affectionate, you know, these kind of things, these so-called simple things. They make these girls also very attractive, at least for me. These Borneo girls are also educated. Malaysia has, I think, a well-developed educational system. And yes, the girls are very traditional, they are conservative, and they are family-oriented. They are demure and docile. Again, my girlfriend at the time, she was a very simple girl. She was a Catholic, and her father was an immigrant. You have in Borneo many immigrants from the Philippines, but also from Indonesia. But her father actually, he came from Timor-Leste, from East Timor. And yeah, my girlfriend at the time, now my ex-girlfriend, yeah, she came from a very simple family. If her father was an immigrant, you can imagine that when he arrived in Malaysia, in East Malaysia, he didn't have anything. I assume he was a refugee because of the atrocities and the war which was going on between 1975 and 1999, you know, when Indonesia invaded East Timor. So a simple girl, simple family, rather poor than wealthy. And I remember my girlfriend, she didn't even have a on-the-job training. She just finished school, I think when she was 15 or 16, and then she went straight to earn money. So she was working in that hotel, in the same hotel where I started to work as an executive chef. She was a waitress, by the way. And this is how it went for her, and this is how it's going for many of the girls there, you know. They don't have much money, but they are simple girls and very kind, very pure, you know. And these girls also, they know how to work. They are not lazy. All of them basically have jobs, more or less. This is a difference to other Southeast Asian countries. Malaysian girls do have jobs, they want to work, and by working with them, I can confirm 100% that these girls are not lazy. They are hard-working individuals, and it's a lot of fun working with them also. And they speak English, which is a big advantage. The level of English in Malaysia is I would say almost similar to the Philippines. Nobody can beat the Philippines in terms of English capability, but Malaysia is very close, especially on the Peninsula Malaysia. You find a lot of people speaking English, especially the Chinese and the Indians. The English is very well. Borneo, East Malaysia, it's a little bit a different story. But the girls I met, they all spoke English, and anyway, when we hired people for our hotel, we had to make sure that there is a certain level of English there, because, you know, we as employees had to communicate with our international guests, right? So these are basically the characteristics of these Malaysian girls in Borneo. Very easygoing, fun, cute little pretty girls, you know, nice character. A lot of ants crawling around here. Where to find a Malaysian girl? There's one big difference to other countries like the Philippines and Thailand. Yes, Malaysian women are on dating sites, but don't try your luck there. Don't waste your time. Don't look for them on the dating sites. The only real option and the best thing to do really to get to know, to hook up or even date Malaysian women is to be in Malaysia, boots on the ground. Yeah. And also, you will take way more time to get to know these girls. Yeah? It is not like in the Philippines that you can arrange something online and you chat back and forth and blah, 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 and get involved and engaged. And then you travel to the Philippines, have a good time for a few weeks and then disappear again. That's not the case with dating Malaysian girls. So being in Malaysia is a big advantage. I hear also that there are Malaysian students who study overseas. For example, in Canada. I don't know what other countries they study in. I have no idea, but this is maybe another option for you if you want to try and date girls from Malaysia. And this is actually how I should put it: girls from Malaysia or women from Malaysia. Also, you don't have a big overseas worker community. Yeah? The Filipinos are very well known for working overseas. Millions of them working overseas, right? In the Middle East, for example. Not so with the Malaysian people. So don't expect too much, yeah, when you go on the dating sites. And even if you are inside Malaysia and want to date, you have to be patient. Don't expect quick results. Malaysia is overall a very conservative country. It is a Muslim-dominated country. 70% of the people roughly are Muslim. So that affects the entire mentality of the entire country and the entire mindset also. Things are way more slow, way more conservative. The girls are definitely not slutty. Neither the Malays, nor the Chinese, nor the Indians, nor the Borneo girls. They are not slutty. They are not easy to pick up. They are not easy to not easy to pick up, you know. Of course they're easy to charm, and they also want to have fun and enjoy, but you know, they're wearing the mask of conservatism, or how you call it, I don't know, because of the culture, you know. This is just the thing in Malaysia you should know. Peninsula Malaysia is probably more difficult to date and to hook up. I don't know, I've never dated on the peninsula. Maybe you get lucky with some Chinese Malay girls, you know. Forget about the Malay girls, I mean the Muslim Malay, because they don't want to date foreigner, they don't want to get involved. And even it happens that you get involved with a Malay woman, a Muslim Malay woman, then sooner or later you need to convert anyway, similar to Indonesia. If you want to get married, you need to convert to Islam. But from my experience, many Malay Muslim women, they don't want to even get involved with white guys, you know. So, but that's okay. There are plenty of other women available, especially in Eastern Malaysia. So what's the conclusion? And yeah, before I forget to mention this, yeah, again, date in Eastern Malaysia. There the girls are way more open-minded, you know. They're coming from a different cultural background, and many of them are Christian also. You have a bigger Christian population in Eastern Malaysia. So what's the conclusion here? Do I recommend to date a Malaysian woman? Definitely yes, based on my experience. I recommend that you date women in Eastern Malaysia. I've mentioned this already a few times already, because that's a great choice. And why you should date Malaysian women is, yeah, because they speak English, they are educated, they are simple women, they are feminine women, they are traditional women, and they are caring and they are joyful. This is my experience. And I think also they are great marriage material, in my opinion. Do not expect too much in terms of intellectual capabilities, you know. I mean, you don't want to marry a university professor or a scientist. What you are probably looking for is what I just mentioned, a woman with traditional values, a woman which is simple in her mind and appreciates simple things. This is also very important for me here to mention. My girlfriend was very appreciative. She valued and appreciated the simple things in life, and that's what they want. Yes, they want to get married, they want to have children, and this is what they are aiming for. They don't aiming for a fancy luxury life. They don't want to become a millionaire. They don't want to jet setting around the world, flying business class, paid by the company and all that stuff, you know. They are simple girls with simple values, family oriented, and they just want to live a simple and happy life. So if you are looking for this, then travel to Borneo and find a woman. If you're lucky, you will find one. So with that being said, I'm checking out for today. 24 minutes again today. This is a topic, by the way, which was requested by a few of my viewers. Yeah, and so here today I laid out my opinion about dating Malaysian women. Thanks for watching. I'm looking forward to your comments. And for those of you who requested that video, I hope I could answer all your questions. And if not, of course, let me know. But at this moment, this is everything I have to say about Malaysian girls. Thank you, take care, and see you in one of my next video. Bye bye.